man weave is interesting because I met a guy. Hey, sorry, it's just the truth. I met you and you had a fade. The next time I seen you, you was bald headed. Bitch. I was like, the fuck is going on? What the hell going on right now? I don't like that trickerization. I don't like that. If you gonna wear, my thing is, if you're gonna do the man weave, just wear the weave all day. He wanted to let it breathe. See? He had to let his scalp breathe. See, that's too much.
Girl, we gotta let
Stay committed to the look. Stay committed to the look.
Yeah, he had to let that scalp breathe.
So you meet a man, he fine. He had a man weave one day, now he bald. What you doing?
I'm gonna recommend let's get the hair transplant.
Do you think a man should disclose if he's wearing a man weave?
Off the rip, no. But if I ask,
he should tell you the truth.
Yeah, because this is like ask, like, why am I gonna disclose? Is this yours? The top?
The leave out.
The leave out. The braids. So they get to a certain point. But yeah, but if I ask in a nice fashion, not rude, all right?
I asked the nigga, not the one who I met with a fade and then he was bald headed. I asked the new man, like, is this your hair? And I did like one of these.
So we talking about man weaves. And the reason why I'm live, I really don't like going live because this actually is my video for tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. But for whatever reason, I think my internet is so bad that I keep recording and they look so blurry that I was like, I gotta go. When I go live, it's fine. So I gotta go live. That's the only reason why I'm live, guys. So I know all of you like, wait, ask the licensed cosmetologist open now. Now, let's go back to it. So I am playing devil's advocate. I am diving into the men weaves, right? And I wanted to kind of like tap into it a little bit, play a little bit of devil's advocate, and then point out some things that I think that the women should learn from the men. One of the things, it's funny that we're calling it man weaves, but this is how you can tell the difference between a other race of people, because as you know, we had hair club for men since I think 1986. But now we see our Black men that are embracing their, what do you call that? Their handsomeness. I don't even know if that's a word, but they're being intentional about taking care of themselves. They're being intentional about taking care of themselves mentally, physically, right? And a lot of us, y'all know, we like a well-manicured man, right? And I have a poll there about the man weaves, and I want you guys to check in there. I'm going to leave the poll open, and I'm just curious to know, how do you guys feel about the man weave? Like, is the guy insecure? Is it a confidence boost? Is it both, or it doesn't matter to you, right? So one of the things I noticed in this conversation with the two young ladies was that one was actually being facetious and clowning the brother for wearing a head wig or a weave. But she was like, be consistent with it. But the men actually know, hey, I can only wear this for a certain amount of time. I can't have this on for months at a time. So where she was actually clowning him, I was like, the brother know how to take care of his scalp, because he understood, even though I got this adhesive on my head and all this stuff, and I like the look or whatever, I understand the importance of taking care of my scalp, because the scalp is a part of my body. So that's one of the first things I wanted to point out. The other thing was that I felt like it was really, really hypocritical, but at the same time, I understood the sister, because so many times women are being clowned and how men are like, I don't like women that's wearing weave. And here we are in 2026 where men are wearing weave. They're wearing it in the dreads, right? They're wearing it in, I know they were doing yarn, and now it has gotten to a point where they're doing it in the dreads and things like that, right? So the black men, because to be honest, when I worked for Hair Club for Men, when I started out, I was always I started out doing men hair. I became so good at it, they moved me over to the women because my goal was to make sure that the hair looked natural. So all this stuff that I'm watching the men do, I did that as well. I had black male clients, but at the time too, was back in 2000. I want to say 2009, 2000, and no, not 2000, 2009, 2010 was when I was at Hair Club. And in that time, I had a lot of clients, and Hair Club is a whole different ball game, right? But I love the fact that the barbers are mastering it and they're making it look so good and they're making their money off of it. For the barbers and the hairstylists, this is another money maker. You see that they're charging like $650 for this service. And believe it or not, that service does not take long, not applying the actual system onto the hair. Now, you have to know how to cut the hair, but it's not a bad system. Okay, so all those things I loved, but what I felt like it was hypocritical, because so many of us Black women that are experiencing traction alopecia, we, that's a very sensitive subject for us. You hate for men to ask about the weave. You don't want to be clowned about your weave, right? And at the same time, we turn around and you see this sister and she was, clowning it. So to me personally, I'm just going to talk about me personally. Everybody have their own opinions, and that's what this channel is about, right? So I welcome it all. Just don't be rude and don't be nasty, because I will come for you. But the thing for me is that I love a well manicured man. Some of y'all like thug life men. Thug men wear weave. I've seen them. They wear their dreads. They add the hair in. I have seen the college preppy guy or the college preppy thug guy. They wear systems and they look good with it, and especially with their beard. And I think that, me personally, if you like it, I love it. And if it was my man, I would encourage him to wear it. If that's something that he felt sensitive about, or maybe he didn't like the shape of his head, and that's something that he wanted to do, and we could afford it, then guess what? I would support my man. So this is me personally. So for me, I would be like the confidence booster. That's what I would vote for. Okay. So that's number one. So now I'm gonna, and this is not gonna be a long video. So now I want you guys to write your opinion, to share and like this video, because I was like, why didn't I talk about it? Well, let me tell you what made me talk about it. One of my clients reached out to me on Facebook and was like, hey, I see you back in the hair thing or whatever. I'm really happy to see it. And he was one of my Hair Club men, black guy. And I was like, it just made me start thinking about how it was in there. And our job was to make that man feel secure in himself and make sure that hair looked natural, right? And so that was really, really important to me. And one of the things I love is that we see it right here with the barbers, with the hairstylists, women too. We can, if you know what you're doing, we can slay it. Now, the other thing I like, they don't have the curtain hair. They don't need the edges or whatever. Of course, they're men, but I love that the way they line it up and the way they make it look so natural, you wouldn't even know. You understand what I'm saying? So me personally, I'm going to go back to me again. I think that we should have grace for the men, even though we have men that clown us and talk about our weaves or whatever. I think we should have grace for the men, because I think it's beautiful to see a man be able to embrace himself and take care of himself, because so many times, especially our black men, they go out in the world, they get beat down, they go through so many things, right? And then they got to come home and they got to take care of everybody. So to be able to come, to say, hey, you know what? They know how to love themselves. They're saying, hey, let me start loving on myself. I'm not going to wait for the wife or the girl, my girl. I'm not going to wait for them to love on me. I'm going to pour into myself. And one of the things I felt insecure about, or one of the things I wanted some hair. A lot of these men are losing hair, because I actually was married. My ex-husband, he lost his hair at age 24. So they embraced the fact that they lost their hair, right? It was hard. I'm sure. I don't think it was hard for my ex because he had a decent shaped head. But it was hard for a lot of men as I went into hair club because they did have weird shaped heads or they did have bad skin on the hair. So it was an insecurity for them. Or some of them was like, how did I just lose hair out of nowhere? Some men lose hair in their 20s. Whereas with women, especially in our community, Black women, we are losing hair intentionally. The men aren't losing their hair intentionally. They're losing their hair for actually male pattern baldness. However, we are losing our hair for female, for attraction alopecia, right? That's our number one pandemic or epidemic in our community, right? And so I think that the women could actually learn from the man, learn about self-love, learn about even when you decide to wear your wigs and lace fronts, make them look natural. They embrace them. They feel good. Look at how the men look. They getting everything done. They get their skin done. They exfoliating their scalp. They doing everything. They don't wait. They do it once a month. And I think it's like from one. I was watching one video. I didn't pull it here, but the one video said, the guy was like, I take this, I wear it no more than 1 out of 3 weeks. But to be honest, every week, he said, and I got the money to support that. So for those women that were actually clowning the brother that she was dating or dealing with or whatever, I think we can actually learn from each other, the do's and the don'ts, right? So that was my take on it. And then I'm going to show you the last video and then we'll be done.
You bald?
Yeah, I'm
would
bald.
you go get your Caesar back if you could get some glue on your head?
I mean, I like how I look
Right.
bald. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really, I've been bald for a long time. I lost my hair before my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like part of my signature at this point.
But we all know somebody who's struggling with the horseshoe.
But some people can't deal with it. Because white men always wore hair pieces. But for black men, it's like we're looked at as like, you're not supposed to worry that much about your appearance. Work out, get a shape up or some shit and chill out.
I'm going to keep it a buck. If next week he came with the
Fresh Caesar,
he got his glued on and they cut it now, I look at bro every day with no hat on like, yo, he's bugging him.
Because it speaks to your character. It's like, yo, you're an insecure man.
Weird, bro.
Lil Uzi can be in the Marc Jacobs joint, but
Yeah.
but you gotta wear shaped peanut head. Don't nobody think the baldy looks good on you, so you gonna put some hair on it, and you weird.
You see that? You see how the men are like, they're still struggling with society and they want to wear that. You know what I mean? And you even they even have their friends and their family that's like, you got a man wig on, you got a man wig. What man was wrong with you? Oh, it's a character issue. What's the character issue? What's the flaw? The fact that doesn't mean that they're insecure. So this is my thought on it. I don't think men are insecure. Maybe because I have been in this arena for a long, long time. And I love the fact that Black men are embracing their masculinity. They are they're wearing their, they're still men. They just want to enhance themselves and take care of themselves, and they feel good about it. So I think that we can learn from one another. And I also would love to hear how you would feel. Even comment about how would you feel if your guy decided to wear that. So many times we're like, oh, I don't know what I'll do on the first date and let a man know I have to wear a wig because you've lost your hair. Well, guess what? I wonder if anybody has went on a date with a guy and actually both of you were wearing systems. That would be so cool for you to talk about. But ladies, how would you feel about your guy wearing a man weave? And men, how do you feel about your friends, or do you know someone that's wearing a man weave? And why do you think, what's wrong with it? Do you think it's a bad thing, or do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's insecurity? Do you think it's a confidence boost? Do you think both, like a little insecurity, but it gives them a confidence boost? Or it doesn't really matter? To me, it doesn't really. I think I like all. I think I like two, the confidence boost, and it doesn't really matter to me. As long as you look good and we look good going out, and you feel good and you feel secure about yourself, Scott, that's fine. I was in a car accident, and I told you guys, as a bone in my thumb that is broken, so I have to get therapy and stuff like that. But guess what? Even in the pain, I felt so bad, but I still got up and I washed my hair and took care of my hair. And I had to curl it, and I can't squeeze down. I can't open the door. It's certain things I can't do. I can't even pick up things like bags and anything like too heavy. I had to use this hand, of course. But the point that it was that I thought about, I was like, oh, I feel terrible, after your body's sore after the accident. But one of the things I remembered was that, oh, Letha, do your hair. And I did my hair. And guess what? I felt so much better. I started walking around and I felt better about myself. It took me some ibuprofen and called it a day. So with that being said, if it makes you feel good and you have the support, or you don't need the support, if it makes you feel good, I say wear it. All right. Now, if you ladies are looking for, y'all already know, I'm going to add it to the link in the description. If you are one that needs coaching on your hair, if you want to make your hair more healthier, or you want to restore hair, you want to find out the issues you have, you want to find your look, so many things that we can do in the coaching sessions, go ahead and book now. All right. Love you guys. See you soon. Smooches.